Chatham grabs the checkered flag. He wins.
Back victories for Sam Bachman as he takes the win at the Port Royal Speedway.
Wins another one at the Knoxville Raceway. Blake Chapman wins.
A corner down here through the front straightaway. Watson gets the win here tonight.
Chad Greggs, a Knoxville Nationals champion. But to the checkered flag, Blake Christopherson, your winner at Lernerville. Here they come off of turn number 4. To the checkers, Templeton takes the win.
Through the back stretch into corners 3 and 4 out here. It's going to be Watson for the win.
The 56 wins. First time winner Randy Streets.
But your winner at Weed Sports is going to be Brandon Templeton in the Salty Dog.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
Alright, here we are at the Speedway of, sorry about the gaps there in the broadcast here tonight. We got everything set up, ready to rock and roll. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We are looking at a great night of racing here from Kokomo. Checker flag waves here, and in practice we'll get right to qualifying. Now, here we go. Set the rock and roll for qualifying. Let's see who's going to be out there on top. That's it, coming out there. Looking good so far. We got Mike Rita out there in the 066. Here for qualifying right now. And then a Full Throttle Motorsports 358 and Big Block Modified. Starting off here with the 358s here at Kokomo. And I'm going to be curious to see who might bring the Big Block, who might bring the 358 in the next set of races here after this one. And right now we got Scott Riome out there with a 12.545. Look out, Isaac Salas now out there with a 12.495. Still looking at Weta as Weta comes in there with a 12.8. Trying to see who else is still out on track. Alex Parmalu has got his laps wrapped up with a 12.667. Brian Dickens laying down his laps in that number 122. He'll be out there with a 12.852. Kelly Wheeler trying to lay down his first lap here. And car number 110 down there on the bottom side. Up off the corner down here into 3 and 4. Trying to see where he'll set for time. He'll set with a 12.803. Sam Bachman, he laid down a 12.712. Still Joseph Grandy and Clay Christopherson that have not qualified. There we go, getting ready for Heat 1. 9 drivers here in Heat 1. Jason Butterfield will be your pole sitter. Dean Reynolds starts second. Billy Robinson third. Isaac Salas will sit there in fourth. Sam Bachman fifth. Mike Wheeler in sixth. Brian Dickens starts seventh tonight. John Dubai in eighth. Clay Christopherson there in ninth. And if you're wondering why Isaac Salas starts fourth, that is because here at Coast to Coast, we invert the top 4 as you watch tonight here at the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Had a great amount of racing last night with the hometown heroes here. Those were brought to you by A&J Custom Creations. And in the midgets followed up with the from Regal Wraps and Designs. Tonight we got Full Throttle Motorsports out here putting on a show for the 358s and Big Blocks. Then followed up by the Regal Wraps and Designs Pro Late Models. 8 laps the distance here for heat number 1. Hey, watch them. They work there off corner number 2. Pace car pulls in to that interesting pit road here at Kokomo. Comes down in the corner number 3. They get ready. They end up with their foot on that loud pedal. Green flags out. They're down the front straightaway in the corner number 1. Jason Butterfield down there on the inside getting a great start. Then look out. Here comes Billy Roberts right there behind him. But look, Dean Reynolds up there on the high side. He's trying to get something rolling as well. Now we know Isaac Salas fastest in qualifying. Up there on the top side. They get together down there on the bottom. That is a 007 along with the 51 at Christopherson. Then they work out through the front stretch once again. with Jason Butterfield out there out front. 3 wide coming there off of 4. And see him up there against that outside lane. That's Dean Reynolds up there. He fights there for the lead if he can. And as he comes through the middle there, right behind him, that is the 5 of Isaac Salas, trying to work his way up there towards the front. As you see that big group there. Down the backstretch here, 4 to go in heat race number 1. Salas up there on top. Reynolds running that midline. And then Butterfield down there on the bottom. Now Salas and Reynolds run the top through 1 and 2. Reynolds gets a run there off of 2. Runs that middle line. Trying to get that run off the corner. And now he's back up there to the top. Looks like Reynolds running top through 1 and 2. And then running middle here through 3 and 4. Trying to get that to work out. But it seems like at bottom is just slightly better through 1 and 2. Here comes Salas way down there on the inside. Now that's going to force Butterfield up. You see Salas ends up there out front. Butterfield second with Reynolds there third. Salas comes from 4th, comes out there and gets the win in heat number 1. Heat 1 results. Going to be Isaac Salas out there in front. Dean Reynolds there second. Jason Butterfield third. Sam Bachman fourth. Brian Dickens there fifth. Mike Weeda there sixth. John Dubai in seventh. Billy Roberts there eighth. Clay Christopherson in ninth. Heat number 2. We got Dylan Kinsey out there in front with Alex Pomerleau there in second. Jeff Sharp in third, with Scott Riome in fourth, William Watson fifth, Kelly Wheeler in sixth, Michael Vitale in seventh, and Joseph Grandy starting in eighth. Down through turn number 1 and 2 as they work on out here. 2 laps to green, so they'll come around one more time. Up off the front stretch down here in the corner number 1 they go. Brad will pull that pace car down there onto that pit lane. Now they'll turn the field over to Dylan Kinsey. Green flag is out down here in the corner number 1 they go. Side by side down there on the bottom. Oh no, Kinsey ends up getting hit and getting putted around. Here's Kinsey, and now he's facing the wrong way. Down there on the bottom side, he got flipped around there by William Watson, it looked like. Watson's now down there on the inside trying to work his way back up there towards the front. Way down there on the inside of that number 280 there of Jeff Sharp. Up there on the top side, that's Alex Pomerleau. In that 397 running through middle on 1 and 2. Sharp's falling back there into the clutches of a 4th place driver of Michael Vitale. As Vitale now gets underneath the Sharp, coming there into corner number 1. Vitale now up there in the 3rd. Off in the corner number 3 and 4. Watson there in 2nd. Up there against that outside wall as they storm down the front stretch. Here with about 4 laps to go. In heat number 2, up there on the top side. That is Alex Pomerleau is down there on the inside. William Watson in second as he's down there on the inside. Coming there off corner number 2, up off with Michael Vitale in third. Kelly Wheeler there fourth, Jeff Sharp there fifth, Joseph Grandy there in sixth. They work on out here. Everybody looking great, looking good as you watch that field work through turn 3 and 4. Pomerleau there out front. Watson now gets his nose in there. He gets to the lead there for a moment. Coming there off turn number 4. Final lap. Scott Rione pulls it to pit road. Unsure what the issue was as he entered pit road the wrong way. Yeah, they worked it through turn 1 and 2. And it is Watson with the win. Pomerleau second. We'll get here our Heat 2 results in just a moment. Alright, here we are, Heat number 2 results. That is going to be William Watson with Alex Pomerleau there second. Michael Vitale there in third. Kelly Wheeler fourth. Joseph Grandy there fifth. Jeff Sharp sixth. Dylan Kinsey there seventh. Scott Riome in eighth. And we'll be back here after warm-up with more racing.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, back here at the Speedway. Here is your starting grid for tonight's race. We got Isaac Salas starting out there on pole. William Watson there in second. Dean Reynolds there third. Alex Pomerleau there fourth. Jason Butterfield in fifth. Michael Vitale there sixth. Sam Bachman seventh. Kelly Wheeler there eighth. Brian Diggins ninth. Joseph Grandy there in 10th. Mike Weeda there in 11th. Jeff Sharp in 12th. As them roll off here tonight. And they're rolling off the corner. Great job so far. We're off turn number 2. Great job here. As you see, Isaac Salas out front. 26 laps to go here for the Thursday Night Thunder. Brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. That's that FTM you see up there in the top right hand of your screen. All right, watch them come out through, off of the corner. There they go. Down through in the corner number 3 and 4. Out there in front, Isaac Salas, William Watson. Your heat number 2 winner out there in second. Nice work there off turn number 4. Salas still up front. There you see that 007. Bachman down there on the inside. He's trying to make that inside work, but it looks like a top lane is where it's going to be at for Isaac Salas. William Watson in second. Dean Reynolds, he's sitting back here in 4th right now. He's trying that top side. I would see Jason Butterfield kind of running through the middle, the low lane. Alex Pomerleau there in 6th. Kelly Wheeler back here in 7th. Michael Vitale there in 8th. Clay Christopherson there in 9th. Now watch them all battle it out up there towards that outside lane. Bachman not giving up on that inside yet. Even though Reynolds does seem to be catching some ground. Well, maybe not. I might have spoke too soon. It does look like, well, no, there Reynolds gained a little bit. Coming there off turn number 4, but he loses it there a little bit. There you see Bachman down there on the inside, trying to get up there to Watson. Bachman really starting to gain down there on the bottom side now. He's down there trying to battle beside Watson. Reynolds lost ground to him. You see, down there on the bottom side, Bachman is still working it. Uh-oh, Salas gone. Now he's back. Bachman out of turn number 4. 16 laps to go here in the feature tonight. Well, sorry, somehow we ended up no sound there. They're off the corner. And 15 laps to go. Billy Roberts brings out the caution. All right, we're watching there for Billy Roberts. Coming out of the corner. You're looking at that 99. Rather, the 66 down there on the inside comes up, gets into the 396, or 397, sorry, of Alex Pomerleau. Ends up stopped down there on the inside. Caution comes out. Green flag back out. Salas back out to the lead. Bachman back down there on the inside. Watson up there towards the top. Grandy now having issues. He's there slow on the backstretch. Gonna bring it down there into the infield. Yellow flag is out. gonna be here for this. And what started it all? We watched Grundy there, up there against that outside wall in that 518. Somehow get caught up there at the back, spun around. Gets rolling, but not before the leaders come up on him. He's going to pitch it down there into the infield and allow the leaders to come around. "13 laps to go now. They'll get double foul back up here again. Pace car's off. Barney's got the flag out. 13 laps to go here this Thursday night for Thursday Night Thunder. Green flag's out. They're down and away with Gustafson now up there in the mix as he's up here on the top side. He's getting up there to try to battle with Salas, but Bachman's down there on the inside. He's been making that bottom side work in that 007. And he's down there below Salas. Here comes Gustafson. He's going to battle up there on the high side. Bachman down there on the low side. I wonder if that bottom's going to start to go away here. And we got a few of them looped around on the front stretch. Caution, back out once again. Brian Dickens, Michael Vitale possibly involved. If I'm looking at it right, might have it wrong. Hey, there, the 122 and the 213. Yes, that is Michael Vitale getting spun around there. Salas, still your leader. Hey, we're going out here across the strike, down there in the corner number 1. We are racing here at Kokomo tonight. Off corner number 4, green flags. Now Salas down in the corner number 1. Bachman now, he's down there as well. Here comes Christopherson. Down there on the bottom. Bachman now tries the top side. As Christopherson tries that low side. On through here, through 1 and 2. Christopherson trying to take that low side away. Salas still holds on to the lead. As he knows they're coming for him. As Christopherson down there on the inside. Bachman, he was making that inside work. Now he's back up there to the top side. I don't know if he's quite getting the run he's hoping for off the top as much as he did on the bottom. Hey, we're going out of corner number 4. Salas, your leader. Bachman there second. Watson there third. But Christopherson now sitting there in 4th. Here comes Watson getting right back up there to Bachman as they work there in the corner number 3 and 4. 4 laps to go down through the front stretch. 3 laps to go now here for the big blocks. Oh, I'm sorry, for the 358s. Then we'll move into the big blocks. Off turn number 4, up there against that outside lane. That is going to be Salas with Bachman there out front. In second with Watson in third. Laps are winding down. Final lap. Salas out front one more time around the speedway. Bachman, he's going to try. He tried to get something there. Could not quite get it. Checkered flag is out. Here comes Salas off the corner. Bachman gets it. Watson gets third. We see him there coming off of the corner tonight. All right, here we go. Try to catch with our winners here in just a quick moment. Our results are in here for the feature. We have Isaac Salas getting the win. Sam Bachman there second. William Watson third. Clay Christopherson 14. Reynolds fifth. Jason Butterfield there sixth. Kelly Wheeler seventh. Michael Vitale there eighth. Scott Riome there in ninth. Alex Parmalu 10th. Dylan Kinsey finishes in 11th, Mike Weeda in 12th, Billy Roberts 13th, John DeVay 14th, with Jeff Sharp 15th, Brian Diggins 16th, Joseph Grundy in 17th. All right, here we go with our, trying to get here to where we could see everything. All right, William Watson, our third place finisher. Somehow I didn't end up in the right room here. Good evening there, William. How's it going?
Good about you, bud?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Well, you did a great job. You got third out there. Were you hoping for a better spot, or you feel good with the third place?
I was hoping for a better spot. Just Isaac was a little better than me on the top there. I'm pretty good here at the top, but he was pulling me at a 2. Couldn't figure it out. Then on that restart, I made a mistake. I didn't hear Dean soon enough. I didn't look up until the last minute and pushed him into the wall, so it kind of screwed us both over a little bit.
I mean, you still hung on enough for a third place. Kokomo's not, a short track here tonight, so I mean, it's definitely not the easiest to get some of these bigger cars around.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be easier in the big block. It's just you gotta keep the momentum up on these 358s, and sometimes they like to push, especially in the middle of 1 and 2 here. You tap that wall, which I think that's the reason why Isaac was able to get me off for 2, because he was hitting it just perfectly. He would just barely tap it and then just get on it. So I couldn't get it every corner.
So you touched on it there just a brief moment. You think it's going to be easier in the big blocks to get off the to get around here than it is the 358?
For me, yeah. Throttle control comes into it, and really easy to get these things sideways if they're on the wall. So I think I'll be all right.
All right, so you're coming out in the big block coming up here in just a few moments. You got any sponsors, shout-out to anybody you want to thank for getting third place here in the 358s?
Yeah, Team SFM, Launch V Shop, V Performance, ScriptX.com, Dina Dirt Car Series, Vortex Graphics for the wraps, Shaggy TV, Coast to Coast, and you for coming in here and broadcasting.
All righty, well, congrats and good luck in the next races coming up.
Appreciate it.
All right, that's William Watson. Now we'll get with Sam Bachman, our second place finisher here in the 358s. Good evening there, Sam. How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. Can't complain with the podium.
Well, you did a great job getting up there. I noticed you were making that bottom work there for a while through that race.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty gripped up. 1 and 2 especially was pretty gripped up. You could just run that little bit of tack down there and just zoom right on by. But 3 and 4 was a little more trickier. You pretty much had to keep it right on the tires the whole time, and if you missed your line, it's gonna cost you big. But other than that, racetrack felt pretty good. car felt pretty good, so can't complain.
You got sponsor shots. Anybody you want to thank for getting second here?
Yeah, the boys over at FTM, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop. He's really been working hard on the dig. Dean over at Super Dirt Car Series, Expert Installation, Vertex Graphics, Shaggy TV. Obviously, you, Flieger, for doing the broadcast tonight. Such short notice, thank you. And Coast Coast.
Alrighty, well, you coming out in big block or 358 coming up?
I have not decided. I'll probably talk to the boys over there and see what they think.
Alrighty. I think we're going to have a mix here tonight. I have that feeling that we're going to see a mix of them tonight.
Oh yeah, you can definitely, they're definitely good for the bottom, and we won't get so much practice time on the track, so it could be pretty juiced up.
Alrighty. Well, good luck there, Sam, and the race coming up.
Thank you.
Alright, I'm Sam Bachman. Now we'll get with our race winner here, Isaac Salas. Good evening here, Isaac. How's it going?
Good. How about yourself, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. You pulled off the victory out there. Were you a little nervous a few times for the race?
I mean, obviously, yeah. Knowing how good most of those guys are ripping the bottom for sure. But I knew that, if I could kind of hold on until the bottom of 3 and 4 started to go away, I should have a pretty good shot of it. So that was the goal kind of throughout the whole night.
Well, you did a great job, and I've been asking your competitors there if they knew if they had a decision yet for big block or small block coming up here.
Oh, big block all the way. I'll take all the power I can get, man.
Alrighty, well, good luck to you, and you got sponsor shout-outs, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I mean, big shout-out to, Venom Racing, Dean, the Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs, JRB Designs, RSN Trackside, Mission 22, Top Notch Trucking, Shaggy TV, Green's Home Inspections, Coast to Coast. Thank you for the broadcast, sir. I know it was very last minute, apparently, so I appreciate that a lot. Mom, Dad, Gramps for watching, Kelser. Yeah, other than that, should be everything.
All right, well, congrats, and good luck in the next race is coming up tonight.
Awesome, I appreciate it.
All right, that was Isaac Salas, your winner here in the 358s. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to both here in Flieger Farm TV. Here is the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Stay tuned as we got more racing action coming up. We have the 358 big blocks. Drivers can choose either one. So it's going to be interesting to see which some drivers might prefer, being the way this track is set up. The 358s possibly can compete with the big blocks here tonight, with the way just this track is set up and possibly going to get run in. So we'll see how it goes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after these messages.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a
hiatus, so let's get.
We talked about it.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, we're back here at Kokomo. This time at the 358 Big Block Modifieds. It's a showdown between the two. I don't know which is which, as I never do. I don't know what driver's running what. We'll ask them here at the end whenever we get with their interviews. All right, guys, we'll get started here and ready to rock and roll with the qualifying for the Big Block 58 Showdown. Hope everybody enjoys the racing here as we bring it to you from Fleeger Farm TV and Coast to Coast Racing Network. Hey, them all lining up there on pit road. Just a few drivers still left on track. Hey, Brian Dickens out there in that 122. There is your best times in practice right now. Solid with a 12.128. Watson there with a 12.248. Brian Dickens with a 12.197. Dean Reynolds takes another lap there. We're set here on the broadcast, ready to go. And whenever the admins say it's time to qualify, that'll be when we get going. Chris Starvison has yet to run a practice lap here in his chosen car. Dean Reynolds out there. And at number 5, or I'm sorry, no, in the 79, fifth fastest. That's where the 5 comes from. Fifth fastest with a 12.274. Alright. Who's everybody rooting for here? We got a couple more cars here in the big blocks than we did in the small blocks. Or maybe not. Let me think this through. We had 9 and 8. That's 17. We got 15 here. Oh, about the same size field, I guess. Now, watch these drivers work off. Yeah, there got Brian Dickens in second. There's the checkered flag for our practice. We'll get set to rock and roll here now. And we see out there comes the 639, Dylan Kinsey. There you see Dean Reynolds up there on the top side. There we see Isaac Salas down there on the bottom. They're in the 5. See what his time is. He's got a 12.288. Roberts with a 12.310. Reynolds with a 12.336. Kinsey with a 12.287. Dickens with a 12.271. Ike Salas did not go and get a better time that lap. Here comes Dickens up off the corner. He'll have a 12.271. You're looking there at Kelly Wheeler coming there off. He's got a 12.591. There's Clay Christopherson. He lays down a 12.096. Or I'm sorry, 086. Sorry, not 096, but 086. There you see that 007 there. Bachman, he'll get up there in the third now with a 12.273. Qualifying comes to an end. We're getting ready for heat number 1 once they come up here and show the grid. All right, there's your grid. I come there off. We see here we got Billy Roberts out there in front. Dylan Kinsey there second. Bachman there third. Clay Christopherson in fourth. William Watson will roll off fifth. Alex Pomerleau there in sixth. Jason Butterfield there in seventh. We got in eighth John Dubai. All right, into the corner they go. Down there on the bottom side, green flag is out. Down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Billy Roberts out there as your leader. 7 laps to go. Here in the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modified 58 Showdown. Hey, the man out here down through the backstretch. Billy Roberts as your leader. Dylan Kinsey there second. Alex Pomerleau there in third. We got a battle for fourth, raging with Sam Bachman down there on the bottom. John Dubai up there on the high side. 5 laps to go. Off corner number 3. Here across the stripe, 4 laps to go. Here in heat number 1. This is a Big Block 58 Showdown here with the Full Throttle Motorsports. Definitely appreciate them and what they do here for Coast to Coast. Allowing us to broadcast here to Coast Racing Network. Along with Regal Wraps and Designs, allowing us to get the midgets on Wednesdays and the Pro Late Models on Thursdays. Now we got 2 laps to go. They work her out of turn number 4. Final lap for Billy Roberts and Dylan Kinsey. Dylan Kinsey down there on the inside. I'm sorry, no, Dylan Kinsey's up there on the outside. Billy Roberts on the inside. Who's it going to be? Drag race off of 4. It's going to be Dylan Kinsey on the outside in that 6.39. The 99 of Billy Roberts in second. So, heat 1 results. They're going to be Dylan Kinsey getting the win. Billy Roberts there in second. Sam Bachman there third. Alex Pomerleau fourth. John Dubai there fifth. Jason Butterfield sixth. Clayton Thompson seventh. William Watson there in eighth. Starting here in heat number 2. We got Dean Reynolds out there in front. Isaac Salas starting second. Mike Brewer in third. Brian Diggins there fourth. Scott Riome in fifth. Michael Vitale in sixth. And we got Kelly Wheeler there in seventh. Taking the grid. Here we go. Off the start. Isaac Salas up there on the outside of row number 1. Dean Reynolds down there on the inside. The fastest qualifier in this group is in position number 4. Brian Diggins at 1:22. Up there on that outside lane. We have 2 laps the distance. Dean Reynolds out in front as they work there off turn number 4. Green flags out there down and away. 8 laps to go here in heat number 2. Up there on the outside, Salas trying to get that car bit to bite. As you see, Reynolds down there on the inside. Side by side as they come off of 4. Salas out there in front. Down there on the way inside, that is going to be the 390 of Mike Brewer. Down there in the corner number 4. Salas on the high side has the lead. Coming down in the corner number 1. Reynolds there in second. Dickens gets himself up there in the third, but falls back there behind Brewer once again as Brewer's making that inside work. Salas is up there on the outside making that work. Now we got Dean Reynolds, as we said, fighting there. Back here in third, and he's on the high side. Got Brian Dickens there in the 122. Fighting down there in the middle as he got Brewer down there onto the bottom side of him. You got the 4, Scott Riome right there in 5th. Working off through corner 3 and 4. Down through the front straightaway. Salas still your leader with Reynolds there second. Brewer in third. Brian Dickens now up there in the third as they come into corner number 3 and 4. Diggins up there. Brewer's trying to hang on down there on the inside. 2 laps to go here as they work around for heat number 2 here at Kokomo. On to the inside he goes down there all the way against the tires. Goes Brewer but cannot quite get up there to Dickens. Final lap. Everybody's single filed out now as they work down through the backstretch. Salas comes away with the win here in heat number 2. Reynolds there in second. Dickens third. Brewer fourth. Here is your heat 2 results. Gonna be Isaac Salas getting the win. Dean Reynolds second. Brian Diggins third. Mike Brewer gets fourth. Scott Riome in 5th. Michael Vitale in 6th. Kelly Wheeler finishing tonight in 7th in heat number 2. Be back after these short messages for our warm-up.
these dollars had come together to support us. And we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
as we watch Jason Butterfield there out of the corner. Down there on the inside. They get together. There you see it. The two of them get together, spun around there. And Jason Butterfield tows it back to the pits. There you see John Dubai, Kelly Wheeler, Mike Brewer trying to get it back underway here. 22 laps to go. Sorry, Ron. Hopefully that came back. Hey, we're getting through turn number 2. 21 laps to go. Lights still on. 22 laps to go here for Thursday Night Thunder. Full Throttle Motorsports Dirt Modified Series. Here you're watching a 358 Big Block Showdown. Drivers can choose either 358 or Big Block here in this series. You watched the 358s by themselves here a race earlier. Salas down there on the inside. Here they go. Out there to the front. On the bottom side goes Bachman. Roberts down there as well, hanging on there as Bachman is to his outside. Through turn 3 and 4, 21 laps to go. Salas has a nice lead at the moment. And they work back down there in the corner number 1 and 2. But look out, that bottom side coming back on strong again. Yellow flag is back out as Mike Brewer ends up around again. So Mike Brewer back here at the back, the bottom of the pack down here on the inside, off turn number 4. Coming into corner number 1, ends up down there on the inside, and it looks like somebody was stopped there, and Brewer just could not get slowed up in time before making contact. There's 19 laps to go. As they get lined back up here. As they work off the corner, down in the corner number 2. Down here, off corner number 2 they go. Well, down the front straight away, 18 laps to go. Up there on the outside is Salas. Bachman there in second. Billy Roberts now, he's in second as they work there on the bottom side. Christopherson's trying to work his way underneath as they work off turn number 4. Across down into corner number 1. Salas up there against that outside lane. Everybody's battling for position down there all over the racetrack. Racing lanes everywhere that we could see. And they bring it on through off the corner. I see Salas up there at the top. Roberts down there at the bottom. Christopherson down there as well. Here comes Bachman back up there on the top side. Right behind him is Dean Reynolds. And you see Riome working his way up through the field there. Currently there in 6th. And Christopherson's down there below Roberts. They all check up there through the corner. Wonder who's running that green car out there. Oh, that's Vitali. Vitali, you do know that green and dirt track racing don't necessarily go hand in hand. I hope you understand that. We'll see how it goes for you back there in about 9th position right now. Working there off of 2. As they come there out of 4, Salas out front. You're looking there at Dickens as he's back here towards the middle back of the pack. Out in front, Salas has a big gap now over Billy Roberts and Christopherson, who's working down there on the inside. Christopherson still trying to get under Roberts. Dean Reynolds up there on the high side trying to get that car to eat its way. There they work there off corner number 4. Salas putting some more gap between him and second place. Down there on the inside they go. Off turn number 2. 10 laps to go here in the Big Block 358 Showdown. Brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. Down that front straightaway. Billy Roberts in second. Up there on the top side. Still Isaac Salas ripping that top lane as they work down through off turn number 4. Salas still with the lead as you watch. Christopherson still working underneath of Billy Roberts. Reynolds up there on the high side. As he works down through the back stretch, he does have company though as he works up there. Another one working the bottom side, trying to see who that might be. That looks to be the 007 of Bachman. Roberts up there, battling there for second. Way up there against the top side, that's Reynolds in the 79. Great racing here, 6 laps to go, coming off of 4. Now it's going to be 5 laps to go. Up here in the corner, number 2, onto the backstretch. Christopherson hangs on there to second. Reynolds up there trying to battle beside Roberts to get that second place or third place away from him. Currently does have it. Now he's up there trying to get a hold of second place. Can't quite get there. Christopherson hangs on to second. Here they come. They're out of turn 4. Roberts down there on the inside. Bachman now down there trying to get below Roberts. And we got 3 laps to go. Here comes Salas up there on the top side, blinking in and out a little bit. Christopherson there second. Dean Reynolds up there. He's going to try to hold on there as you see him get up there in the third. Now he's trying to stay up there, work off a 4 down the front straightaway. Final lap for the drivers here. They work off a 2. Isaac Salas, he's working there through 3 and 4 down there on the bottom side. Nothing to really worry about as Dean Reynolds is coming off a 4. Now checker flag is out. Christopherson gets there into second. Dean Reynolds there third. Waiting on the results to come in. Here is your feature results. Isaac Salas gets first. Clay Christopherson there second. Dean Reynolds third. Dylan Kinsey in 4th. Billy Roberts there 5th. Sam Buckman 6th. William Watson 7th. Scott Rion there in 8th. Michael Vitale 9th. Alex Pomeroy there in 10th. Brian Dickens 11th. John Dubai in 12th. Kelly Wheeler 13th. Mike Brewer 14th. Jason Butterfield finishes 15th tonight. All right, now it's time to get with your winners. All right, getting with Dean Reynolds here first. In that number 79. Dean Reynolds here at third place. Good evening there, Dean. How's it going?
What's going on, Adam? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, we're doing good. We've made it in the podium, so I'm happy with that.
Oh, you definitely made it a podium. I noticed you were kind of lane searching there a little bit. Were you just trying to find that extra moisture out there? Just hard to find it?
No, I was planning on staying on the top. It's just, I kept on getting in the wall in 1 and 2, and that kept on, that made me change my lanes a little bit. And that really wasn't planned. I'm looking at my car in the podium shot. My whole right side is all bashed in and paint scraped and everything else. So, but then once I got going in the groove there, I started making it work, and then I was closing in on Clay a little bit, and maybe a couple more laps that maybe I could have got him. I don't know, but we're happy. We fell back to start second, fell back to 6th. Wasn't happy with that, and then got back up to 3rd, so we'll take it.
Yeah, I'm showing you here that you started 4th here tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did start 4th. You know, Adam, that's why you're better at math than I am.
I'm not better at math. I just have a little cheat sheet thing here on my screen.
There you go.
It tells me here that you +1 on your grid, so I can't always rely on that, though. There's times that it gets goofed up.
Well, SDK sometimes can really mess you up a little bit, too. So, but no, Isaac was the class of the field tonight, and you know, he could roll the top better than anybody, and Clay can roll the bottom better than anybody. And you just watch what their talents can do here at this track. And you know, it was fun to be a part of that. And you know, Kokomo, I didn't like Kokomo at first when it came out. I struggled a lot, but then I started learning how to run the top here and got a little faster. And now I actually enjoy coming here. It's a racy track. A lot of people say, "Oh, Kokomo," but you know, you just got to get comfortable with it. And then once you do, you can have some fun because there's definitely like 3 lanes out there.
Oh, we definitely had lots of lanes out there. I mean, we had almost 4 lanes that drivers were choosing from at certain times throughout the night. And Kokomo is one of those tracks where I'm like, I look at what car's running it, because if it's the bigger cars like the big blocks or the 360 410 sprints, it's like, I think I'm going to pass this week.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's all what you're familiar. I like running sprints just about anywhere now too. So it's all where you're familiar. But if you're not familiar, you just got to get out there and do more laps. You know, I don't know how many times I've run a late model here, but I'm getting to my pro late model right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've really run late models here. I've run, you know, like I said, I kind of dislike the bigger cars. Not to say that I haven't run them, but I love the little stuff here, like the midgets, the micros. I love them here at this track.
Well, Kokomo is, it's actually the perfect size to run a small car or a big car, and there's not a lot of tracks on this sim that you can do that. And, you know, Lima Land might be another one, but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like I said, I love Kokomo in those smaller cars. It is such a blast. You got enough room for it, and like you said, you do have the room in the bigger cars too. It's just for some reason I'm apparently not a good momentum racer, and that's the whole trick to Kokomo, I feel.
Well, it's a trick to actually a lot of tracks. You just got to get in the groove, and when you get in the groove and get the momentum, you won't have to be hard on the gas or hard on the brake. You can keep your speed up in the corners, and that's kind of the key to almost every track.
Yeah, well, this person that you're talking to, he don't know what a brake is.
Well, I very rarely use mine as well, but I'm starting to learn how to trail a brake now, and you know, Clay knows how to do that. Anthony Morano really knows how to do that, so you know, we're starting to learn.
Alrighty, well, congrats there on 3rd place. You got sponsors, shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank before you head off into your late model?
Of course, the guys from FTM. You know, again, always a lot of fun to be with the team there, and you know, proud sponsor of the 358s and the big blocks, so you can come in and do the broadcast. Got to thank Coast to Coast to give us a place to race, and you know, congratulations to Isaac and Clay on a 1-2 finish ahead of me, and thanks to you and Regal's Wraps and Design, so we can go watch the pro late models and have that on YouTube as well.
Alrighty, well, congrats again, Dean, and good luck in the late models.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, that was Dean, our 2nd place finisher. Now we'll get with our 1st place winner there, Isaac Sellers, and I don't see Clay. Good evening there, Isaac. How's it going?
I'm doing good, buddy. How about you?
I'm doing well, man. You definitely had that thing hooked up on the outside lane there tonight.
Oh yeah, dude, that was a ripper right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was actually kind of like pretty sketchy in 1 and 2. I ain't gonna lie to you there, but 3 and 4, I felt really good.
Yeah, you did look great out there, and can't wait to see you. You're coming back out for the pro late model, right?
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
All right, so kind of refresh me because I forgot already. Where did you finish in 358s?
Oh, I won that one too, buddy.
All right, that's what I thought. I wanted to make sure my memory was serving right. So you got two for 2 on the night so far.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's I mean, you know, it comes with a little bit of practice for sure. I can tell you that. But you know, I just really understand how to run the top here, and you know, just try to commit to it as best as I can, and it's been working out tonight.
Well, you look great. How comfortable are you jumping into the pro late model and trying to get the pro late model up to the front?
Not at all. that'll be the fun part tonight. If you follow my racing at all, basically everybody knows that mods at the top, and late models and sprints can be very so-so depending on the week. And We'll see how it goes.
Alrighty, well, good luck in the Pro Late Model. But before you go, you got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for getting the victory here in the 358 Big Block Showdown?
Yeah, no, man, I appreciate it. Just a big shout out to, like Venom Racing. They support the crap out of me. Dean the Super Dirt Car Series for everything they've done for me, and it's a lot of fun. Venom Race Designs, JRB Designs, Arson Tracks out again, Mission 22, and everything they do for our veterans. Top Notch Trucking, Shaggy TV, Regency Home Inspections, Coast to Coast for the place to race, and thank you for broadcasting. I will keep reiterating that. It's always fun to have somebody to broadcast these things. And, other than that, Mom, Dad, Gramps for watching. Miss Kelser for probably watching at work yet again. But, yeah, other than that, man, it's thanks to everybody that came out tonight.
Alrighty, well, congrats there, Isaac, and good luck in the Pro Late Model.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Alright, not seeing Christopherson, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves ready here for the Pro Late Models. So, go restroom, get your drink, get settled in as we got another race shortly coming up here at Coast to Coast Racing Network and over here at Playing Farm TV. We'll be back after these short messages.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
these dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We're back here from the Speedway. Qualifying taking place here for the Pro Late models. We got about I want to say either 9 or 10 drivers here. Yeah, they had there in the corner number 1 and 2. I see Salas out there trying to get his qualifying lap done. Down there on the bottom side, you're going to let it slide up off the corner. Down there through 1 and 2. Salas with a 12.139 rate now. All right, down there. Sliding it up off of 4, down here across the stripe. Does he improve? No, he does not. He'll end up with a 12.139. That is for Isaac Salas. So Salas has a chance here as he's starting on the podium right now. That'll be for the heat, though. He'll actually be starting front row in the heat, if I'm looking at it right. Because of the invert, he should be starting there in second. And I had that pegged right. Here we go. 9 drivers here in your Pro Late models here tonight from Regal Wraps and Designs. Dirt Pro Late models. Dean Reynolds starts them on the pole. Isaac Salas, their second. Mike Weta, their third. Brian Dickens, fourth. Mike Brewer, fifth. Dylan Kinsey, their sixth. William Watson, seventh. Scott Riom in eighth. Clay Christopherson, there in ninth. And then here we go, heading into the start of the race. As that you saw there. So Salas up there on the top side in second. And work down the backstretch. In the corner, number 3 and 4. Getting ready here. Down through the back straightaway. Here in the corner, number 4. Along through the front straightaway. 6 laps to go. As they head on out there. Salas really ripping that top side once again here. In that front spot. Has that top side figured out here. Qualified not to the best where he wanted to be. Unless he was playing that invert. That could be. Dylan Kinsey there second. Mike Brewer there in third. They stormed out here in the corner number 1. You got 9 drivers. There you see working down there on the inside. That is Clay Christopherson trying to get up there and battle with the 122, Brian Dickens. 3 laps to go for Salas as he's out front. Dylan Kinsey there second. Brewer there third. Now you watch him come there off turn number 2. Down that back straightaway here tonight. Down through the front straightaway. Kinsey there in second. Brewer there third. 2 laps to go. They work down the backstretch. Off turn number 4 comes Salas as he comes down here in the corner number 1. White flag in through turn 2 for the final time here at Kokomo tonight. Yeah, we have one there. Mike Wheeler having issues coming to the checkered flag. Salas gets the win here in the heat. Dylan Kinsey there second. Brewer gets third. Great job here by these drivers as they finish that race. Now we'll move on here to warm-ups. And we'll be back after these short messages. Warm-ups take place.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
All right, back here at the Speedway. Up there on the top side, Mike Brewer. Alex Salas up there on the top side as well. One flipping over there on the front stretch. Got a minute and a half here of warm-ups left. 30 seconds to go. Brewer out there as your fastest here in warm-ups. Salas there in second. Reynolds there third. 15 seconds to go. And here we are, getting ready for the grid as warm-ups come to an end. Here is your starting grid. Isaac Salas starts on pole. Dylan Kinsey there in second. Mike Brewer third. Clay Christopherson there fourth. William Watson there fifth. Scott Riom in sixth. Dean Reynolds seventh. Brian Dickens there eighth. Mike Weta in ninth. Here we go. Getting ready here for the start of this one. Now you see Salas there out front. Kinsey there in second. Brewer third as they get set and ready to rock and roll here tonight. Getting them into gear down there in the corner number one. Salas looked great on the outside. They work going through there onto the bottom there off turn number one. Green flags out down here in the corner number one, up there on the high side. Salas trying to hang on as he's now got Brewer down there on the inside. Salas up there, way up there to the outside. Brewer working on the inside. Salas trying to hang on up there to the top side, getting the run there off two. Down there in the turn 3 and 4. He can definitely run that outside lane as Brewer's trying to get that bottom side to work for him. Salas definitely got that outside lane to work for him all night long, and they worked down there through the backstretch into corner number 3 and 4. Brewer down there on the inside. It's still Salas, though, by just a hair as they work there off two. Lap 4 of the 30 here. Salas up there on top. Brewer down there on bottom. Brewer falling back now into second. As Salas finally gets him cleared. Here comes Watson up there on the top side now. He looks underneath Watson looks underneath Brewer. He does get there now. Watson will set his sights on Salas. Now you get down there in the corner number 3 and 4. Watson and Salas, your top two at the moment. Here's that 639 of Dylan Kinsey. He's working down there below Brewer as they work out of two down that back straightaway. Salas just needs to keep it together, keep that car moving in that right direction, keep hitting his marks. And they work there through turn 1 and 2. Brewer might have got up into the outside wall just a shade there as they come there off two down through 3 and 4. Right, looking at the 051 down there, working the bottom with Christopherson, trying to get underneath a Brewer. Brewer up there at the top side. As they work down there to the front, Salas still leads it. 21 laps to go. Watson sitting there in second. Drivers all together back here at the back. And Watson trying to find a different lane there behind Salas. Ends up there at the top of 1 and 2. He's going to dive it back down there to the bottom of 3. No, he won't. He'll keep it up there at the top. Actually, will come down just a little bit. Coming there off of 4. 19 laps to go for Salas. They work there through turn 1 and 2. You see Christopherson up there in the third now as he got around Brewer. Brewer trying to hang on to everything he can up there at the top side. Watson there in second. Dean Reynolds, though, he's back here in fifth right now behind Brewer. Reynolds there is looking through the middle of the corner. Up, down there in the corner, number 1 and 2. We had again Salas up front. Watson second. Christopherson there third. They work there off of 4. Salas, you see him up there against that outside wall as we watch this battle here. Reynolds gets into Brewer, and Brewer up into the outside wall. Reynolds now takes over that 4th spot. Brewer ends up back here in 5th. Now they're 3 wide for that 5th position as they work there off the corner. Down there in the corner, number 1 and 2. Brewers there got company on the inside in the form of Scott Riome. He's also got the 639 at Kinsey there. And others coming in as well. That's the 122. Brian Dickens getting into the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. And they work there off too. Salas, though, up there against that wall, running it real tight. 13 laps to go. As you see Watson back there as well. Salas found the rails up there and is just running it. And we see Christopherson back here in 3rd. Dean Reynolds 4th. Scott Riome back here in 5th. Brian Dickens in 6th. Mike Brewer in 7th. Dylan Kinsey there 8th. Mike Wida, he's back here in 9th. And they work there through turn 3 and 4. Salas coming off a 2. William Watson there out of 2 down there in the 3 now. Up the corner, down that back straightaway. Everything's looking great. 10 laps to go here in the Wriggle Wrap and Designs Dirt Pro Late Models here during the Thursday Night Thunder from Coast to Coast Racing League. You're watching it live here on Coast to Coast Racing Network and over at Fleeger Farm TV. On the pole tonight, we got Isaac Salas, William Watson up there in 2nd. Christopherson 3rd, Dean Reynolds 4th. 8 laps to go now as they work there off of 2. Down the back straightaway. Salas up there on top with 7 laps to go as he comes across the stripe. Will he catch the back of the field? That's going to be the interesting thing if he can. Working there off turn 2 down there through 3 and 4. Salas out front. Watson 2nd. Christopherson there 3rd. Reynolds and 4th. Riome 5th. Now, I want everybody to think of something here. We're coming around here to 5 laps to go for Isaac Salas. If Salas holds the lead, he'll do what very few drivers have done here at Coast to Coast, and that is pulling off the sweep on a Thursday Night Thunder. Very, very few drivers have done it. Salas will be among them if he can do it. I don't know if this will be his first time doing it or not, but he will have a shot at it here. 4 laps to go. Out of turn 4. Salas, your leader. Watson in 2nd. Reynolds there 3rd. Now Watson, he's closed Salas out before. Salas has been close before, and Watson's closed him out. Here in the Pro Late Models. Watson's also had nights where he's been close. So Salas up there at the top. Coming around turn 3 and 4. Final lap. White flags in the air for Salas as he works that top groove around through 1 and 2. Up down the backstretch. In the 3 and 4. Final time there for Salas. Checkered flags in the air. Salas will get the Thursday night sweep at Coast to Coast Thursday Night Thunder. Salas for the win in the Dirt Pro Late Models tonight. Bringing home the sweep of the Modifieds and the Pro Late Models here tonight. He wasn't sure if he'd be able to pull it off as he's not as comfortable in the Pro Late Models, but he definitely pulled it off. Reynolds gets 3rd. Watson there 2nd. These drivers really put on a great show here tonight. Here is your feature results. Salas getting your win. As we said, he got the sweep tonight. Watson there 2nd. Reynolds there 3rd. Christopherson 4th. Scott Riome 5th. Brian Dickens there 6th. Dylan Kinsey in 7th. Mike Brewer there in 8th. Mike Wida in 9th. That is your Thursday Night Thunder final lineup for the finishing order. Now, we'll get with your winners of the Pro Late Models. I am sure Isaac Salas is stoked, but he'll have to hold on in just a moment here as we get with Reynolds and Watson. All right, here we go. Good evening here, Dean. How's it going?
Well, doing good again, Adam. We got another third, so we're happy with that. And, you know, I didn't know how these cars were going to handle here, but they were actually a pleasure to drive here. I had a lot of fun.
It was great. Wasn't sure how you felt about the race there tonight. I mean, you looked great out there. Just unfortunately, you didn't have anything for those two guys in front of you.
No, they're Barton. You know, Isaac, you know, he says he doesn't run late models a lot, which he doesn't, but he's just naturally good. He's one of those guys that can get in any car and be good and be fast. You know, if the track has a groove where he likes to run and that's up top, he's going to use it and he's going to be quick. And, yeah, he's one of the best, and he just proved it tonight with the clean sweep.
Yeah, it definitely was a fun race to watch.
Yeah, no, like we talked earlier, Kokomo, you know, Kokomo just gives you a good racetrack and, you know, a lot of grooves and a lot of choices. And even with the late models, it did the same thing.
It definitely did and didn't disappoint. I know, and I know you pretty much run coast to coast, right? You're pretty much one of the big dogs here at coast to coast. How often do you see drivers pull off what Isaac Salas did tonight?
Well, I've never done it, and I've been here for 4 years. I've won 2 in one night, but that's the most. You know, it's an incredible feat. You know, back when I joined, I used to watch Logan Gill and Nicholas Vickery do it, and then Isaac would come in and do it, and then, you know, then we've watched Sam Bachman and Anthony Morano do it, and you know, it's fun to watch, and especially with a couple different cars. You know, and you know, you get the hat trick, and hats off, and you know, maybe one of these days I can, you know, for me to do it, I'll have to luck into it. I'll have to get some breaks here and there from competitors and such. But you know, if I did do it, maybe I'll retire right on the spot.
Well, I doubt you would. I mean, you just have too much fun doing this, right?
Well, this is my getaway. I'm so busy with my real job, and you know, I work. I don't even know how many hours a week I work. And matter of fact, I'm gonna work tonight and get ready, and then I got to get up you know, about 6:30 tomorrow, and we're leaving for Canada for an event on Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday I got to get payroll done from Super Week, and then Monday I'm flying down to Charlotte, and then coming back Wednesday morning, and then Thursday afternoon I'm flying out to Tulsa, Oklahoma. So it just never stops.
Alrighty, well, congrats there, and can't wait to see what you have going on here the rest of the season. I mean, great momentum here tonight here for you, Dean.
Yeah, hopefully we can carry it over to some more coast-to-coast events. But, you know, I got to thank you, Adam, for doing the telecast, Regal Wraps and Designs for the sponsorship. And, again, just want to thank the guys from FTN, and congratulations, Isaac, on the sweep. And, you know, I'm a proud sponsor on this car. We got the Super Car Series on that car. And Bart Watson, he's... you know, 2 podiums for him tonight, so congratulations to him.
Alrighty, well, congrats. And we'll see you in the next one, I'm sure.
All right, Adam. Well, and thanks for filling in for Robert tonight.
Hey, no problem.
Take care.
You too, Dean. Have yourself a great night.
Thank you.
All right, that was Dean Reynolds, your second place finisher. Now we'll get, third place. We'll get with second place now, William Watson. Good evening there, William. How's it going?
It's going good. How about you?
Well, you didn't shut Isaac down tonight.
No, he ran it pretty well. I was telling everybody else. I even told Isaac, I was like, I don't know how this spoiler is not coming off that car. But, I mean, he was on that wall in 1 and 2, and he was able to pull it off. I was just waiting for it to fall off. That way I can catch up to him. I mean, I tried to do some cut downs at 3 and 4 to get against the ground. I felt like I was, but I wasn't doing it fast enough, so I tried other lines, and that didn't help at all. So I just went back to what I was doing, and he held that line on top.
I
chance I got is that spoiler falls off. So
you might want to check to see if he laid rails up there or something for his cars tonight. I mean, because he ran at top all 3 races tonight.
Yeah. That's normally where I run too, but unfortunately, like in the big block race, you know, I got into a teammate, and I think it was more net code than anything, but then I got put in the rear, so. Been a fun night, though. I'm always having fun coming out here racing everybody.
Well, congrats on second place tonight. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank?
Teammates at FDM, Sponsor Shop, Super Performance, GripX.com, Dean at Dirt Car Series, Vortex Scrappers for the wraps, Daggy TV, Coast to Coast, and you for broadcasting.
Alrighty, well, congrats again on second place, and can't wait to see what next week brings.
I appreciate it.
That was William Watson, our second place finish. Now we'll get with Isaac Salas, our winner here tonight. Good evening there, Isaac. How's it going?
Pretty damn good, man.
Well, you got the sweep here, Kokomo.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty sweet, man. I don't know the last time I even had a sweep in C2C. It's been a long time, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I understand it's not an easy feat at all to pull off a Thursday Night Thunder sweep.
No, not at all. With how competitive the fields are anymore, I mean, you gotta be just on a roll. I mean, it's insane. Like, you can tally off like one or two maybe. I mean, if you get a good starting spot and you're really feeling the track, I mean, you can maybe tally off one or two, but the sweeps anymore are they're tough. They're just tough.
Well, you did it tonight. Showed off your skill here at Kokomo. Watson wants to know kind of what you did to that spoiler on that car to keep it on your car the whole race. Because he said he could have sworn you were beating it off.
Yeah, it felt like it, to be honest with you. In 1 and 2, I definitely grabbed the whole side of the car there a couple times, and I think that was my only saving grace was that I hit the entire side of the car flush. If I would have tagged it with just the right rear, I probably would have been screwed, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, I mean, you know, it was pretty sweet though, like getting to run that kind of line and having, you know, these last 2 races here to kind of get some practice up there when it gets slick. And I definitely struggled there early. I won't lie to you. I was a nervous wreck, and I was not consistent at all. And then kind of started to feel the car out a little bit more, and it was a little bit better after that.
A little bit better. Looked like you laid rails up there on the top side yet again.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's my bread and butter, to be honest with you, buddy. I tell people all the time, I was like, you know, I don't get Kelsey to tune into these races by me running the bottom, so that's about all I can do, man, is just rip the top.
Yeah, I mean, you did a great job keeping it lined up there on the top side, and looked great doing it. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for pulling off that sweep tonight?
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, I know I sound like a broken record, but these are all the people that truly support me, and it's, you know, big shout-outs to all of them. Venom Racing, Dean and the Super Dirt Car Series, you know, Magnum Race Designs, JRB Designs for those last 2 schemes. They're so cool, man. You know, RSN Trackside with Mr. Marty. It was fun to watch him at Oswego. Mission 22, just reiterating about, you know, they do so much for the veterans. Top Notch Truck with my Gramps, Shaggy TV, Regency Home Inspections. You know, I'm gonna keep thanking you. It's one thing to get a sweep, but the fact that we almost didn't have a broadcast, so I'm glad you showed up. I'll tell you that. But yeah, you know, big shout out to you, Coast to Coast. You know, my mom and dad for watching, Gramps for watching, and then I guess Miss Kelsey, she puts up with me. She puts up with my hobby that takes up quite a bit of time in the winter. So, yeah. Hope you have a good night, man. It's good to talk to you 3 times tonight. That's sweet.
Yeah, I mean, you deserved it. I mean, you ran a great race tonight.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I really do. It's a lot of fun to do good and get to be up here and talk on the broadcast. I really love it. It's a lot of fun, and you know, it's good to just have all these different personalities you get to kind of meet and interact with, and get to see the YouTube chat going on. So it's a blast.
Yeah, and it's a blast for us to watch too. So can't wait to see what next week holds for us for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna keep on trying. I'll let you know.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Have yourself a great night there, Isaac.
Yeah. Thank you. You too.
So that was Isaac Salas, your winner here tonight, pulling off the impossible sweep tonight. Great job by him. Can't thank you all enough for tuning in to Coast to Coast Racing Network and Flieger Forum TV to watch the broadcast tonight here for Coast to Coast. Have yourselves a wonderful night. Enjoy what's left. Myself, I'm going to go from here, and I'm going to tune into the Steeler game here this Thursday night. So thank you all for watching. Have yourself a great and wonderful night.